Consumer Protection Act 1986. It protects the consumer from exploitation that business practice to make profits, which in turn harm the well-being of the consumer and society. It teaches the consumer to make right choices and know what is right and what is wrong. Need for the act. Some of the factors which lead to this act are high prices of goods and services, monopoly by public sector, short supply of goods and services, incorrect weight or quantity, lack of awareness, advertisement leading to confusion. Features of the Act. It applies to all goods, services, and unfair trade practices unless specifically exempted by the central government. It covers all sectors, whether private, public, or corporate. It provides for establishment of consumer protection councils at the central, state, and district levels to promote and protect the rights of consumers, and a three-tier quasi-judicial machinery to deal with consumer grievances and disputes. Who is a consumer? A consumer is one that buys goods for consumption and not for the resale or commercial purpose. The consumer also hires service for consideration. Any person who buys goods or avails services for consideration. Consideration may be fully paid, partially paid, or fully promised to be paid, or partially promised to be paid. Anybody who uses the goods or services with the consent of the consumer. A legal cure of the consumer in case death of consumer does not include any person who buys goods for resale or commercial purpose and services for commercial purpose. However, any person who buys goods for commercial use but exclusively for his livelihood by means of self-employment is a consumer. What is a service? Service means service of any description which is made available to potential users and includes but not limited to the provisions of the facilities in connection with banking, financing, insurance, transport, processing, supply of electrical or other energy, boarding or lodging or both, house construction, entertainment, amusement, or the purveying or new or other information, but does not include the rendering of any service free of charge or under a contract of personal service. Unfair trade practices. Falsely represents that the goods are of particular standard, quality, quantity, grade. Falsely represents that the services are of particular standard, quality, or grade. Falsely represents any rebuilt, second-hand, renovated, reconditioned, or old goods as new goods. It represents that the goods or services have sponsorship, approval, performance, characteristics, accessories, uses, or benefits which such goods or services do not have. It represents that the seller or the supplier has a sponsorship or approval or affiliation which such seller or supplier does not have. Makes a false or misleading representation concerning the need for or the usefulness of any goods or services. Gives to the public any warranty or guarantee of the performance, efficacy, or length of life of a product or of any goods that is not based on an adequate or proper test. The important terminologies used in this act. Restrictive trade practice. It means a trade practice which tends to bring about manipulation of price or its condition of delivery or to affect flow of supplies in the market relating to goods or services in such a manner as to impose on the consumers unjustified cost or restrictions and shall include spurious goods and services. It means such goods and services which are claimed to be genuine, but they are actually not so. Defect. A defect means any fault, imperfection, or shortcoming in the quality, quantity, potency, purity, or standard, which is required to be maintained by or under any law for the time being in force. Consumer dispute. It means a dispute where the person against whom a complaint has been made denies or disputes the allegations contained in the complaint. A complaint means any allegation in writing made by a complainant regarding an unfair trade practice or restrictive trade practice adopted by any reader or service provider. The goods bought by him or agreed to be bought by him suffer from one or more defects. The services hired or availed of suffer from deficiency in any respect. A trader or the service provider has charged the price in excess of the price for the goods or for the services mentioned in the complaint. The eligibility for filing the complaint, beneficiary of the goods or services, legal representative of the deceased consumer, legal heirs of the deceased consumer, husband of the consumer, any voluntary consumer organization registered under the Societies Registration Act, the central government, the state government. The requirements for complaint. Complaint is to be filed within 2 years of buying the product or using the service. Complaint needs to be in writing. Letters should be sent by registered post, hand delivered, by email or fax. The complaint should mention the name and address of the person who is complaining and against whom the complaint is being filed. Copies of relevant documents must be enclosed. The consumer must mention details of the problem and the demand on the company for redressal. This could be replacement of the product, removal of the defect, refund of money, or compensation for expenses incurred. Circumstances when a complaint cannot be filed. A complaint on behalf of the public, which consists of unidentifiable consumer, which cannot be filed under the Act. A complaint by an individual on behalf of general public is not permitted. An unregistered association cannot file a complaint under the Act. If the complaint found to be frivolous and vexatious, then the district forum has the authority to dismiss the complaint.